I don't know, maybe 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And it just kind of, you just felt inspired to write it down?
Yeah, I think I seen something on the internet or somewhere back there that they was having a contest of poems or something. And I entered it in the thing, and they published it in the local paper, and they published it also in the Sacramento Bee.
During the war, was it like we asked before, like what a typical day was like when you were in the war? What could you give us a little more information, I guess, about what that was like from when you woke up in the morning to the end of your day? What were typical?
Well, during the war, I don't know if there's any mornings or nights. Like in my work, I'd go along, like I had an old truck, a Jeep and a truck, and I had to carry an old mattress in it and lay it on the ground and go to sleep. But I'd go to bed at maybe midnight after eating something, and about 1 o'clock, the general would come by that was going on ahead, and he'd wake me up. He'd say, "Andy, get your crew up, we're moving." And that maybe you got 1 hour of sleep. So it was just kind of, I don't know if we ever got a lot of sleep in the service. We never pitched a tent or anything. We just laid wherever we could when we stopped, because there was no, you carried nothing to build tents with or anything like this. You just in a vehicle. Mm-hmm. So you just laid down on the ground.
Did you, when you were in the various different countries overseas, would you stay in one place for a long time, or did you guys move around frequently?
We moved. We didn't stay very long in one place. No, not very long.
What was the longest amount of time you would stay in one place?
I think when we'd go 3 and 4 months at a time on the line, and then they'd pull us back and leave us back there, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. You know.
Do you remember at the time if you felt like time was moving slowly or time was moving really quickly? Like, did days go by quickly for you?
Well, we'd go out and go to town every chance we got, and we drank wine because the water wasn't bad. It was bad, so we just drank wine all the time. Mm-hmm. Especially in Italy. I remember some officer come by one day and we had a wooden keg in the front, holds 5 gallons, and he wanted to drink a water, and I told him we don't carry water, and he was surprised that we had the whole water thing full of wine.
So you talked a little bit about the food being really kind of poor, the rations.
Yeah, it was really bad until they come up with the 5-in-1 rations. Now that was pretty good. They had bacon in there and all that. Otherwise we had dehydrated eggs, and most of the food had to be, you couldn't have fresh things around. We did get fresh eggs, but we had to get them from the local people.
And the local people would often just give you them, or did you have to take a little bit, or?
Oh, we didn't take much. No, I think we stole some chickens one day to eat when we first got to Africa. But I think them chickens had been there a long time. They were pretty tough. Otherwise, not much difference, right?
When in the different, when you were in different countries, where you were fighting, the civilians, how did they seem to react to the war?
Well, in the country we're in, naturally the people in the country in hated the people that were fighting, and like I say, they were friendly. All of them were. They helped you out whenever they could, which is pretty neat. Yeah, it's been long years.
Now, when you think back on your time on the war, it seems like you have a pretty positive kind of take on it. Or how do you feel about that part of your life, I guess?
Well, I stayed pretty busy all the time. All my jobs, like all my retirement and everything, comes to the government, because all my jobs were government jobs. When I got out of the service, I went back to civil service to doing the same thing. And then when I quit there, I went to work with the Air Force in Dixon there at that tower, and then I stopped there. And then I raked alfalfa for the farmer for 9 straight years. Go to work at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I worked there, and then I finally had a 6-way bypass in 2000, so that slowed me down a lot.
How would you say your experiences in the war have affected your life so far, or affected your life back then, or directly after?
I don't think it affected me. I think I'm tickled to death I did it. It helped me more than anything else. Yeah, you get a lot of discipline there, so it does keep you, doing what you're supposed to do.
Have you talked to other veterans about their experiences and what were those people?
Yeah, we
like?
do. We Doc. When I belong to these organizations, we always sit down and we go to the American Legion or something down to have a beer or have a meal or something like this, and so.
Is it interesting to talk to?
You get to talk to all of them. And Herger, the congressman from this area, presented me with a certificate from Congress.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you would maybe like to show us some of the photos you have in that album there.
Well, these are some of the old ones. These are ones when I was first in the service. Yeah, that's me back in Fort Lewis, Washington. And this is me in. This is in Japan.
Could you hold it up a little bit higher?
Yeah. I don't think you want to see any of the wives. She won't show you that one. Yeah, we medals I got, and I do. These are all. There's one. There's one. When I was still at Fort Lewis, Washington, 1940, I think. You can't see that one very good. That was when. That's when I did mine. I was also an instructor in the Army schools. I taught pole line climbing poles.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was at one of the schools at these are not. These are all just stuff from that thing you had there. Every year I would raise the flag up too in the local cemetery, and also on 11/11 day I'd do the flag down at the courthouse. Well, he's talking about what I did in the early days of sports and things, like that. I bowled in the Army, and I also played basketball too. There's one of the center pitcher there, the center pitcher down there, number 7, I think that's where I was playing basketball in Fort Lewis. And there's one, this was in Sicily.
Sicily?
And that's, well, these are all just the same ones, like, I don't think you know. Anyway, the wife and I have been married, I think it's 63 years now. She's 47.
I think I just have a couple more questions. Is there anything you feel like people should know about World War II that's not commonly known, or maybe misconceptions people have about it?
I think they ought to know that we all went to the war with horrible stuff, horrible equipment and clothes. That's for sure.
Did you learn any life lessons or things in the war that you'll take with you for the rest of your life?
I don't know. I just being obedient, I guess. Learning what paying attention, doing what they tell you. I learned a lot of stuff from the service. Yes.
Is there anything else you want people to know, or any special experiences you had during the war?
I think that pretty well covers everything I did.